Blackhawks. 20,000 fans in attendance will receive a schedule magnet presented by Circa. Go to blackhawks.com/tickets to secure your seats today. The Hawks are looking to lock in Blashill's new system and get dialed in for the season. We've got Puck Drop coming your way next on Chicago Sports Network. Craig Nazar's been flying. Bommel got it back, makes a move, and scores on the backhand. Soderblom can win it with a save. Off the post, off the back of Soderblom, and it stays out. No goal, and the Hawks win. This is all he scored tonight. Why not? That's 31. There's a shot. Score! Slager's first game back up, and he makes it 2-1 Chicago. Connor Bedard cuts around behind, works it out the other side, has a look, lets it go, scores! Connor Bedard wins it in overtime. There he is, the new head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, Jeff Blashill, a former coaching partner of yours, Tony. You worked with him for a year when he was in Detroit as head coach of the Red Wings, as the Hawks chase their first win of the preseason tonight against the St. Louis Blues.
And Jeff Blashill is fired up to try to get his first win, like you said. And there's the goalie we want to keep an eye on tonight, Spencer Knight.
5-8-2 Spencer Knight, after coming over near the deadline in that trade with Florida last season. New contract in his back pocket. This one's underway. Glad to have you with us on Chicago Sports Network as Murphy gets a long shot away that's swallowed up by Jordan Binnington. And he hangs on.
Yeah, and Jeff Blashill's going to like that start. You win the faceoff, you get it in deep, you get a forecheck going, and you get a puck to the net. So Blackhawks worked on that. If we watched practice yesterday, we saw lots of that type of a drill going for the Blackhawks and establishing a forecheck.
173 career wins for Jordan Binnington. Most victories ever by a St. Louis Blues goaltender. His resume is strong. He gets the start. Expected to play 2 periods tonight. And Spencer Knight for the Hawks expected to go the distance as puck's deep in the blue zone. Almost turned over, finally settled down and worked forward by Schueneman as he works it out the center with a long pass up the far wing. There's a play in front by Shen, broken up as Del Mastro got his stick in the way, and it's smothered by Knight for a whistle.
And one thing you'll see out of the Blackhawks a lot this year is Jeff Blashill's defensemen playing tight on the forwards, coming out of their offensive zone. You can see Connor Murphy down there early, almost creates that turnover. And that's a lot of responsibility on the forwards when your D's down that low to come back and cover. And the Blackhawks were able to do that in that situation.
Hawks control off the drop. Pass intended for Doc. Couldn't corral it off the boards. Louis Crevier cuts it off. Hawks try to work it out. Doc spins, puck to center. Chip back into the zone where Crevier plays it over to Matt Grzelcyk on a PTO, trying to make the Hawks. Very young blue line for the Hawks. Grzelcyk hoping some of his experience could be a valuable asset as he plays in his first preseason game in Chicago colors. Puck back to the line. It got past Parayko, and now a race for it. Chasing after it is Moore. He tries to get there. Does. Got a shot away. Binnington's able to make the save and keep this game goalless as the puck's played out and all the way down, but they say no icing.
Well, you talk about speed, and that's what the Blackhawks team has been bragging about, how fast they are. You just saw it there, and Oliver Moore blows by Parayko and gets a good scoring chance.
Binnington puts the puck into the corner. Juracek there, took a bump as he's knocked down, but got it ahead, and it's bouncing out to center ice. Onto it there is Buchinger down the left wing. Sticks with it, plays the puck into the corner, one-handed around by Walker. Joseph can't reach it. D-man pinches, but the Hawks take it away. Allen lifts that out, and it tumbles back inside the St. Louis blue line. Luff dumps the puck in and around. Slowed down enough, slides to the corner. Walker pinned by Nolan Allen. Mailloux pinching in, tried to throw that to the front of the goal, couldn't get it there. Shot from the line, never got through, deflected away. And the loose puck is controlled by the Hawks, who carry out. Dumped into the zone by Gavin Hayes. Played to the corner for Mailloux. Now it's left for Dvorsky, and he'll chip that to an open wing. Mailloux trying to catch up to it, turns back. Del Mastro settles it down, gets the return pass near the front of his own goal. And he'll take his time, play catch with Murphy, his partner. Long feed up the wing, onto the stick of Mikheyev, waiting for support to come from the bench. Rest of his mates were changing, now just dumps the puck to the corner. Mikheyev battling, trying to get it through, and it's intercepted. Mayu banks it off a stick out the center ice, and the Blues able to chip it to the blue line, but no further as Murphy knocked that out of the air with a long feed to Mikheyev that didn't connect, and that goes all the way down for an icing call.
And this was more, and we know about his speed. There's that loose puck, and you can see him fly by Parenko there. Finds a way to get to the puck first. A quick little shot, shooting for a rebound there. And you can see his speed. He's got that first step. All of a sudden, he explodes out of that. Young forward with great potential.
Blues won the draw. Shot for the point, deflected wide as Fowler let it go. Hit traffic, didn't find its mark. Now a battle behind the Chicago goal. Murphy has his man tied up. Puck to the corner, jabbed at by Cam Fowler. The Hawks able to play it off the boards. It came outside the line. Parayko brings it back in offside.
You saw that last little flurry in the Blackhawk end. The puck was behind the net. You saw how tight the Blackhawk defenders were to that puck. There were 5 guys down low, smothered the play, picked up the loose puck, and then Mikheyev from the corner chipped it out to the neutral zone to force that offside.
It's a Blues team that went on a real tear down the stretch. They had a 12-game win streak at one point. Got into the playoffs in a tiebreaker. They edged out Calgary and nearly beat Winnipeg, the President's Trophy winner in the first round. They were 2 seconds away from winning Game 7 in that series.
What a series.
There's a chance and a shot turned aside. Great look there for Green, and a nice save by Binnington as the Hawks come close to opening the scoring. Played back to the point, just out of the reach of Grizzly. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Knight directing traffic, plays the puck over to Grizzly. He'll feed it ahead, and a long pass by Ryan Green finds Moore, who lifts the puck into the zone. Bushinger back to it, able to play it back across, and now it's carried to the line by Juracek as he gains center ice. Tried to dump it in, hit a skate. Good pressure there by the Hawks. It's Cates with a steal and put that shot wide. Big bounce off the end boards in front. Blues get control, can't get it out. Hawks keep the pressure on. Cates puts it down low one more time. Binnington there to cut it off the side of the goal. And now the Blues clear to center ice. Fed back ahead to Cates, in with Nick Lardis. Binnington plays it again. He'll put it up the far boards. Chip free, and onto it now is Snuggerud, who crosses in over the blue line with a shot on Spencer Knight, who makes the save, and then it's bumped back to him by Lardis, and Knight will cover up for a whistle.
Well, Blackhawks have gotten some good offense going off of the forecheck. Let's see, look at Spencer Knight there. He's in the offensive zone to see how tight the D are there, caused that quick turnover, and there's Green with a good wrister. Binnington stands up tall to make that save, and then Cates on the forecheck. Jackson Cates with a good little stick and intercepts the pass, rips one wide, and Hawks got pretty good jump so far in the first 5 minutes of this hockey game.
Nice shift for Cates, the 28-year-old. It was his birthday yesterday, so
all right, a good way to start the game. Must have stayed away from that big birthday cake that was in front of him.
There's a face-off win for the Blues. Puck played over to Mayu with a long shot off the shaft of the stick of Knight, it appeared, and the puck went wide. Now it's cleared back out to center ice as we approach the 5-minute mark of the opening period. Del Mastro on the puck under some pressure from Walker. Now in a battle in the corner, knocks it free. Hawks able to settle it down, and turning with control is Mishiak as he plays the puck to center ice. That pass off the mark, and it's Sundqvist chipping it back to the line. On it himself, trying to get around Del Mastro, doesn't let him, steps in front, puck goes to the corner. Connor Murphy. 13th season in the NHL for Murphy, 9th as a Hawk. He's at the end of a shift, heads to the bench. Sundqvist for the Blues with a pass that's intercepted, but Walker able to recover from Mikheyev and carry in. By himself, puts it deep.
Both these goalies are really impressive at handling the puck. Binnington might be one of the best, and Spencer Knight. And I talked to Panger this morning about this. Spencer Knight is just smart. He keeps it very simple and is easy to communicate. Watch this coming in the defensive zone. You can see how fast the Blackhawks get to a 5 in the zone in a small quadrant of the area, and they break this play up, and here they go on to offense. So it's something Jeff Blashill has been working on a lot to start training camp.
Sticks flying everywhere. Crevier able to recover his. The puck's back to the point. A shot deflects high, winds up in the corner. Knocked ahead for Lafferty, but he swatted at it, missed. Blues get the puck, played back to the point. Lafferty pressuring, trying to jab it through the neutral zone. Got it to the line. Fowler there for St. Louis makes a pass to the blue line. Now it's chipped across to Dvorsky, carries in by himself and scores. A shot from just inside the zone, posted in, and it's 1-0 Blues.
There's your goal scorer, Dvorsky. Gained the blue line and ripped one through a screen. See the quick transition by St. Louis. Long play up the ice. Dvorsky gains the line. Just sneaks one through the defender's leg. Long cross ice pass. And Dvorsky rips one posted in.
Dalibor Dvorsky, the 10th overall pick in 23. Slovakian picks up the goal that opens the scoring in this one. Just shy of the 6-minute mark of the first period. Hawks look to respond. More on the puck. Doc chasing to the corner. Took a bump from Schenn. Nolan Allen gets it free. He'll put it back behind the net. Chipped over on the near side for Juracek, and he'll play it to the line, but not out. Moore able to keep it in. Back to it is Buschinger, and he clears the zone. Doc's pass missed the mark. That goes all the way down, and it's icing on Chicago. Download the Chicago Sports Network app so you can stream live Blackhawks games and stay up to date on all your favorite Chicago sports teams. Download the app, CHSN app today, and start your 7-day free trial.
It's really important for the young Blackhawks that are here tonight just to stay focused and not get too discouraged. The fact they're down 1-0 because they're skating well and quite a few good shifts in the offensive zone. And
Blues on the puck. Snuggerud gathering speed out of his own zone as he works it over the line. Pass blocked. Reichel got in the way. Crevier back to it. Puck to the point. Not out. Mailloux feeds it back down low all the way around. Pitching on the other side is Schoenemann. But it's onto the stick of the Hawks. Lardis coughed it up. Another chance. There's a shot. Turned aside. Snuggerud let it go, and a blocker save by Knight. Reichel puts it behind the net to Grizzly. And he'll play it ahead. Off Cates and out, and racing after it's Lardis with a man in front. Reichel, but Binnington got the stick in the way of that pass and chipped it from danger. Head back over near boards. Chopped off the wall and out to the neutral zone. Swatted in by Snuggerud at the end of his shift, and back to it's Murphy, and that's icing on the Blues.
There's that little chance for the Blackhawks. Passes just a little bit in front of Reichel going to the net. Binnington's able to poke a check it to the corner.
Lardis, Reichel, and Cates a line for the Hawks. Of course, Nick Lardis, fans very excited to see him in his first preseason game. 71 goals in the Ontario League last season. Terrific goal scorer in junior. Most goals by an OHL player since John Tavares 18 years ago. So gives you some context to how incredible his year was.
Incredible year, and when we watched him and the highlights of the goals, he was scoring all different ways. So he's a guy that can score on the rush. He can score by being around the net front. He's got a great mindset of knowing when to be in the soft areas, and because of it, he scored 71 goals at any league. That's impressive. Year.
Blues break out of their own zone. Fowler joins the rush. He'll lift it in. As Sundqvist heads into the forecheck, bumping with Ethan Del Mastro. Kicks the puck free. Parayko cuts it off on the half boards. Del Mastro tries the other side. Murphy trying to get there. Leaned on by Luff. Del Mastro one more time with a bit of room, and he'll skate the puck to the line and out to center. In and around. Cut off by Binnington. Fowler back. Carried out by Dvorsky. Fed ahead. And over the line with a chance, and backhanded in front. Good rush there by Pekarczyk with the pass out front as he lost the handle when he went to shoot, but the puck sailed through and the Hawks cleared the zone and put it back into St. Louis territory. Carried through the neutral zone by Juracek. Played in deep. Knight's in behind the net. He'll chip it back towards the corner. Fired ahead. Mikheyev plays it across, and the Hawks should be able to get it out. Steered in deep by Lafferty, wrong side of center. And we get another icing call just shy of the midway mark of this opening period.
And you're going to see a little dipsy-doodle by one of the St. Louis Blues young players as The Karchuk makes a great move there. Good job by Korchinski coming over to help his partner out. Prevent a good scoring chance.
Face off to the right of Knight. Dickinson wins the draw against Braden Shen, but the puck winds up back on goal, and Knight makes the save and hangs on. 10:45 left in the opening period. Dalibor Dvorsky makes it 1-0 Blues in St. Louis. New head coach Jeff Blashill. A message for the troops of practice. You coached with him. We mentioned this earlier, Tony. His first year as head coach in Detroit. What can you tell us about his style and how he likes to handle practices?
Great communicator, very clear on your responsibilities and what they are. So, you know, there's a lot of talk about the change of systems and the guys have to do this and learn this and whatever. It's going to be very easy for the players because they are going to know their responsibilities. And he is a communicator. He's fair. He's very honest and direct. And I think, you know, from listening to what the guys are saying, I think they're getting their messages that Flash is trying to get to them. And so it's going to be a little feeling out process. But for the most part, these young guys are hungry to learn and be coached.
Thomas puts the puck across the Snuggerud. Dropped off. Fowler shoots. Glove save. Knight sees that one all the way, and he hangs on.
And one of the areas that Blash has been really hard on the guys is making sure they box out and that Spencer Knight and Soderblom can see the puck. And it's just a simple entry. It's into the zone. You can see the defenseman boxing out on both sides. Spencer Knight, easy save for him. And that's one of the things he's been. A lot of battle drills down low, a lot of D-zone coverage, and a lot of net front in the offensive zone. He wants the guys to be in front no matter what your size is or what your position. Offensive zone, get in front of the other goalie.
Worked in and around, a wraparound attempt. Knight able to shut that down. Hawks on the rebound, and it's controlled by Reichel. Feeds it out through center ice. Jackson Cates dumps it in, up on the forecheck. Reichel crashing into the corner, but taken away by Shen, and the Blues captain finds Neighbors out at center. Down the boards for Matthew Joseph. Leaves it in the corner for Jake Neighbors. Bumped by Ethan Del Mastro. Reichel under some pressure, got some help, chipped towards the blue line by Lardis, and it finds its way out to center ice. Mayu retreating with a pass to the neutral zone, fed over to the right wing. Shen cut up by Del Mastro, puck in deep, but Connor Murphy back to it. Time and space to make a play, and now it's fed back across to Ethan Del Mastro. Tipped in deep. Mishiak up on the forecheck. Binnington out to play it again. Kept alive at the line. There's a shot by Tony Nato that never quite got through. Jabs the puck loose one more time. Settled down by Buchinger as the Hawks pressure on the far side. Blues regroup again. Juracek deep in his own zone will retreat back towards the back of the goal. And finally it's worked down the wing by Matt Luff. Gains the line. Played over. Weak shot. Stick save. Puck off the top of the glass. Stays in play. And Tony Nato flips it across to Kevin Korchinski. Puck to center ice. Mishiak knocked down. It slides back into the Hawk zone. Inside 9 to go, first period. Korchinski had to turn back. Lafferty's pass intercepted. Feathered through, played in front. Off a stick as Carmino went to set up a shot, but it was chopped away into the corner. Back towards Fowler. Parayko wristed down the near side. Waiting for it again. So was Fowler. Now Parayko plays it across. Dvorsky, the goal scorer, drops it off. Parayko in a little deeper with a shot that misses. And Ilya Mikheyev gets the puck and has a chance to bring it out. Coming off a 20-goal season, Mikheyev turned back in the neutral zone, wants to change, drops it off, and Grzelcyk resets. Big Louis Crevier. 6'8", 242. That goes all the way down for an icing call. While looking for ultimate flexibility while still getting access to the biggest games of the year, whether you select a quarter season plan or a customizable pick'em plan, we've got you covered with options that fit your schedule. Visit ticketstopblackhawks.com today and learn more.
And as you might expect in St. Louis, lots of Blackhawk fans in the arena tonight, cheering on their favorite Hawks today.
We'll see each other again next weekend in Chicago to wrap up the preseason. So the first 3 Hawks exhibition games on the road, final 3 at home. Colton Dach. Grizzly cross to Crevier. Here's Moore. Watched in the corner, sticks with it, got the puck free. Comes back to him down low. Played it in front, that's picked off by Buchnevich. Mayu puts it on the wing. Snuggerud trying to get it back. Nice stick there by Grizzly. But it's stolen right back. Snuggerud pulls it over, drops it off, fed back towards the line. That bounced off a stick, loose puck. Snuggerud plays it back into traffic, and Knight makes the save off Thomas. In tight on a scramble that wound up on the stick of the dangerous Robert Thomas, and he was shut down by Spencer Knight. Blues keep the pressure on. Back to Jimmy Snuggerud trying to dangle through. Dach doesn't let him with a bump and a clear. As he flips it back down the ice. Does it have enough? Not quite. Hawks able to get it, change in and get some fresh skaters off the bench. Chipped in deep. Nick Lardis. Over to Del Mastro with a confident pass. Del Mastro skates the puck to center. Gains the red line in deep. Lardis in the corner. Bumped by Parayko. He'll settle it down and bank it over to Juracek. Neighbors pressured. Parayko. One more time for Adam Juracek. Now it's worked out by Neighbors. Swatted ahead. Blocked by Del Mastro, and he'll take control in his own zone. Ethan Del Mastro with a long pass that's off a stick and in. Hawks are changing as Parayko feeds a long pass up the wing. Backhanded in by Matthew Joseph at the end of his shift. Korchinski gets it out to Hayes, plays it back. Working in is Mishiak. Tried to play it back through to Tony Otto. That pass was intercepted, and Walker on the counter. Puck deep. Walker and Korchinski collide in the corner. Puck in feet. Tony Otto comes in, leans on his man, Sundqvist. Puck back to the line. There's a wrister that hit traffic in front, bounced off the skate of Walker. He'll play it back down low. Picked up behind the net. And a paddle down save by Knight as walking in front was Matt Luff. That shot from a sharp angle gobbled up. Spencer Knight hangs on. And we get a whistle with 5:24 left. First period in St. Louis, where the Blues have a 1-0 lead on the Hawks. Well, you want to keep an eye on Jason Dickinson, Tony. You know, he only played 59 games last season, a couple of injuries, including a wrist injury that ended his season in March.
Yeah, and this is standing up for a teammate. This was an unnecessary hit, and Dickinson came flying in there, and his gloves off before Neighbors turned around and somehow hurt his wrist in that instant. But this is a big part of the Blackhawks' future. Dickinson is. I think what he did 2 years ago, scoring 20 goals, gets you excited that he can add some offense in that checking role. But he's one of those guys that I'm sure Jeff Blashill already knows he can throw over the board at any time. Knows what he's going to give him, and hard to play against. Good face-off guy and great penalty killer as well. Yeah,
big numbers for him. And like you said, 2 seasons ago, previous goal high was 9. There's a shot that goes wide. Off the stick of Dickinson, right on cue. Penalty coming up to the Blues. So the Hawks get the extra man off the bench on the delayed call. And here's Grizzly. Drop back to Dickinson. And fired across. Moore walks the line with a wrister and a blocker saved by Binnington. That was a good shot. And Binnington able to fight that off. And Blues touch the puck. Hawks get the first power play for either team tonight.
Yeah, good job in front by Lafferty. We mentioned earlier that Jeff Blashill will, offensive zone-wise, be telling the guys we have to have one player in front of the net.
2 minutes. Hooking.
See Dickinson getting ready to get a wrister off, and St. Louis player gets a stick up underneath the hands. Dickinson draws the penalty. Mikheyev's on the power play.
There you go. We just talked about how he didn't see very much power play time last season. Out there on the first unit right now. Hawks get it set up. Pass back to Lardis was intercepted neatly and sent down the ice by the captain, Braden Shen, for the Blues.
Blues penalty number 54.
One of the 2 Hawks power play goals against the Wings on Tuesday came on the power play early. It was Bedard scoring on a one-timer. Seconds in. Here's a chance and a shot that's stopped by Binnington on that foray. And that was Mikheyev racing it off the right side.
And it looks like we're going to see the goal that Connor Bedard scored the other day. And what I really like on this is Rinzel does that little fake and little hitch. Freezes the goaltender. The goaltender loses track of where Connor was. You see how Connor moves over. Goaltender wasn't set and ready to save that. Connor blasted one home. So good start for the power play and Connor Bedard the other night in Detroit.
Blues on the puck. PK able to clear. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Matt Grizzly takes his time. Here's Lardis on the far side for McKay. A bit too far. Can't catch up to it. Puck cleared back down. The Hawks will send out the next unit on the man advantage. We're inside 4 minutes to go here in period number 1. Reichel swept into the zone by Misiak. Throwing in front, chip wide by Moore. He'll settle it down and set up on the right flank with a play in front, looking for Martin Misiak, but couldn't quite catch up to the pass. Korchinski feeds it across to Oliver Moore. Moore, Misiak setting up the one-timer for Hayes, but he fanned on it. Loose puck is scooped up, and away goes Joseph, short-handed. Got a shot away, and Knight's able to make the save. Good burst of speed by Matthew Joseph. Spencer Knight with a good stop there as the Hawks play it back in. Late stages power play. Binnington, he's handled the puck a lot already.
He does it so calmly, too, as does Spencer Knight in Blackhawks net. Here he gets one as well, holds it for his defenseman.
Power play comes to an end. Dvorsky's out of the box. One shot of the man advantage. Binnington again, stick handling, able to make a play to Buchnevich. Chips it over to Dalibor Dvorsky, the goal scorer in this game. Pareko's up on the rush with a shot and a stop by Knight. Mikheyev sweeps the puck around. Back to the point. Buchnevich pressured, and the Hawks take control. Jason Dickinson dumps it in. Binnington again. Leaves it behind the net this time, where spinning is Mayu. Snuggerud down the wing. Drops it off. Hawks force a turnover, and Mikheyev just bumps it back into his own zone as both teams make changes.
And that Blackhawks power play didn't generate a lot, but it hasn't been something that the Blackhawks have been able to work on a lot in practice so far, and lots of different guys in the lineup tonight. So a little bit unorganized, but they did create one chance. And when we get out there on the power play, all we're looking to do is get pucks to the net and try to establish something with the mindset of quick to the net and win battles and races the pucks to reset.
Puck one-handed into the zone by Jackson Cates. Cleared right back out again. Crevier goes to it. Grizzly turning. Back to Crevier. Tony Nato finds Moore. He'll chase. Stick tied up. Was Juracek able to take the puck away, and the Blues break out. Matthew Joseph chips it in, but it hit a player at the bench, and that draws a whistle with 1:18 to go in the opening period.
Well, Oliver Moore had a really good finish last year to the year and a good start so far in preseason.
He's been jumping. Hawks down by a goal first period in St. Louis. The wait is over. Blackhawks fans, don't miss a second of the action at the United Center this season. From centennial celebrations to can't-miss matchups. Now's your chance to be part of the energy, the history, and create unforgettable moments. Secure your seats today at blackhawks.com/tickets.
We've got a lot of fun things going to happen this year with the centennial season.
Great year.
So lots to look forward to.
Incredible events planned.
We get Duncan Keith in the Hall of Fame this year. It's going to be an exciting moment for all of us Hawk fans to see.
Nolan Allen back to the puck. Took a bump, made a play to the corner. Battle ensues as Carbonneau's in there causing problems. Korchinski watching him. Here's Neighbors with a pass back to Fowler. Final minute of play in the first period. Fowler switches sides, plays it to Neighbors with a long wrister, and that stop by Knight. Corralled by Doc. Chance to bring it out. He's got more breaking through the middle. Doc. And the puck bounced on him as he went to make a play, and then Fowler was able to cut him off and knock it free. Connor Murphy. That hopped on Del Mastro. Worked out by Walker with a bounce pass back to Mayu. Long wrister blocked. Murphy got in the way. Such a good job at getting in the way of shots. Connor Murphy, not afraid of ever. Always in the right spot. That puck off the glove and out to center ice. Flip in didn't work for the Blues. They'll drop it back into their own zone, and Mayu will skate down the right side and dump it back in deep as the final seconds of the opening period wind down. And we've got 20 minutes in the books. Blues up by 1.
Yeah, Hawks had a good start, and then the goal by Dvorsky got the Hawks a little bit on their heels, but lots of hockey to play, and again, for the young kids trying to make a team and make an impression, it's 60 minutes. Put that one behind you, come back out in the second, you're on the PK.
Yeah, get a 2-time Selke winner on your coaching staff. That's not a bad thing to have.
It's a pretty good resume right there. And you can see Blash there. And then one thing that if you guys, as we watch practice, Jeff Blashill has run most of the drills. And the reason he runs most of the drills is so that other coaches can hear the terminology and the way and the verbiage on how he's explaining the different things and within the system, and the other guys, you know, still trying to work together to figure it all out. We got a little skirmish off the start here.
Lafferty and Matt Luff having words. Now they'll skate away from each other as period 2 is underway on Chicago Sports Network. Blues steer it in deep. Del Mastro back under some pressure, got the puck to the corner. Murphy up the boards, played back to him by Mikheyev, and it's stolen by Luff, and a chip shot never got through. Puck cleared back out to the neutral zone. Puck deep. Mikheyev. Got it to the blue line, but no further. Fowler chasing. Murphy back first to his partner Del Mastro. Murphy one more time. Bank pass. Mikheyev down the wing trying to get around Parayko. Pushed off the puck though. Fowler, Parayko's partner, feeds it ahead. Matthew Joseph gains the line. Feeds it over. Parayko played it across. They score. Shen with the finish on the setup by Neighbors, and Brayden Shen makes it 2-0 Blues.
Well, a nice quick up by the Blues. You catch the Blackhawks a little bit flat-footed at their blue line. And you see this long play up the ice. And as you see on the entry, guys drive to the net. And backdoor is Shen for the tap-in. Nothing Spencer Knight can do on that one. You see Parayko, who had a heck of a year as a defenseman. He's all the way up in the play, makes the play, goes to the net, is almost there to tap it in, but Shen sneaks behind him. And nice little pass back door by Neighbors.
That goal comes in the first minute, makes it 2-0 Blues. Parayko had a career high in points last season with 36, and goals too. He had 16. Big defenseman. Neighbors on the puck. Shadowed by Moore. Whips it around the boards. Took a weird hop out of the corner. Hawks trying to get onto it, but Green couldn't settle it down. And Doc in a collision with Parayko as the puck goes back the other way. Fowler up on the rush. Drops it off for Jake Neighbors. Leaned onto the corner. Green makes a pass towards Moore, but it was behind him. Kept onside at the line. There's a slap shot on a blocker save as Buchinger let it fly from just inside the Hawks zone. Muscled up by Doc. Robert Thomas on the puck. Buchnevich feeds it over, and that shot by Snuggerud denied by Knight. Crevier tips it over to Grzelcyk. He clears the zone. A bouncer inside the St. Louis line. Buchinger banks it ahead. Tipped over to Snuggerud. Denied entry by Big Louis Crevier. And here comes Reichel. Back the other way over the blue line. Reichel off a stick, and that goes high. Thomas corrals the puck off the glass and heads up ice with a long backhand feed. Race for it. Buchnevich trying to get there ahead of Korchinski. Can't do it. And that's icing on St. Louis.
St. Louis with a quick start to this period. They're going to get another chance here. Spencer Knight's going to have to stay strong on that net. See a little play up the wall, gets turned over. Back to the point. Spencer Knight stands tall, sees it all the way, gets the blocker on it, steers it to the corner. And one more chance coming up. There's the one-timer by Snuggerud. Knight does a great job tracking that, knocking that one to the corner.
Snuggerud from the University of Minnesota was teammates with Sam Renzel and Oliver Moore.
Yes, he was. A great college player, that had a great program, coached by Bobby Motzkow there at the University of Minnesota.
Puck goes out of play, 2.5 minutes in. Hawks fans catch every second of Blackhawks hockey all season long, right here on Chicago Sports Network. Available on DirecTV and DirecTV Stream, Xfinity, Fubo, Uverse, and RCN, or stream on the CHSN app once authenticated. CHSN, where Chicago comes first.
And when you're on the road like this and you're a young team in an exhibition game, it's still important to focus on your next shift, focus on remembering that your general manager's watching, your coaches are watching. Every little thing matters when you get an opportunity here, so hopefully the Hawks can get some energy out here.
Pass across the slot, broken up, and on the counter it's Gavin Hayes down the wing. Little chip in by number 92, up on the forecheck. Bumped down low by Schuenemann. Hayes stays in the battle. Knocked towards the goal, a backhander on goal. Binnington down, able to make the save, and then a little rough stuff after the whistle.
I kind of like that right now. Just a good little forecheck, got to the net hard. St. Louis doesn't like it that you went to the net that hard. The Blackhawks standing in the face of the Blues there. Good shift by these young guys. There it is, just a simple little chip by Hayes. Get in on the forecheck. Misiak comes in, loose puck. Leonardo gets a whack at it, another whack at it. They're chopping and hacking and whacking at the net. You can see St. Louis take offense to that. Protect their goaltender, protect their crease. I'm sure that's what Jimmy Montgomery says. Hey, we got an elite goaltender in our net. Anyone gets near our paint, to make sure you let them know that that ain't happening.
You know, Tony, we saw the Hawks. Binnington's such a good puck handler, and he handled the puck a lot in that first period. So how do you adjust if you're the Hawks with your dump-ins to make it harder for him to do that?
Yeah, and St. Louis did a good job in the neutral zone of forcing the Blackhawks to dump pucks, but it's a simple little play. You can't just get it deep. That's not the mentality you need to have right now. It's soft little chips behind the D. Keep Binnington in his net, make the D go back, turn for it, just like Hayes did right there. He put it soft into the corner, got a forecheck going, and the Blackhawks were able to get 2 whacks at the net front because of it.
Lafferty with a face-off win. Hawks won 56% of the draws in the opening period. Green was the best of the bunch, going 7-2 in the face-off circle for Chicago in the first 20 minutes. Okay, having a puck battle.
You can win yourself a job if you win a lot of face-offs.
That is so true. There's a pass back. Del Mastro feeds it over for Dickinson, and a glove save by Binnington, who's able to snag that and hang on.
Love that play in the offensive zone. It was a pretty simple one. Get it back to the top, have a forward go high. Dickinson sneaks out really high, and you can see St. Louis staying low. Dickinson kind of disappears high, comes down, and rips one from the top of the circle. So a good offensive zone movement by the Blackhawks.
Scramble drop. Parayko gets control, and he'll feed it ahead to the blue line. Chip to center ice. Hawks cut it off. Del Mastro plays it back in. There's Binnington out to cut it off behind the net. Sundqvist to Walker. Dickinson pressuring in, so the Blues will try the other side as Parayko lifts the puck through the neutral zone. A tumbler into Chicago territory. Murphy, good job to stick with it. Pressure by Walker, but makes a play, and now Murphy gets the puck back and brings it out. Banked off the corner boards. Hawks turn to make a change. Settled down by Buschinger, and he'll make the play over to Cam Fowler. Nathan Walker stood up at center ice. Poked at by Hayes. Following up, Tony Nato. Fowler angles him towards the boards. Tony Nato jabs at it, but Sundqvist got his stick in the way, and it's back out to center and now deep in the Chicago zone. Louis Crevier. Tony Nato makes a pass on the wing to Gavin Hayes, cutting in deep, chip one on goal. Binnington able to make the save. Puck kept in by Crevier. Used that long reach well there. Grizzly cycles the puck back behind the net, tipped over by Tony Nato. Jammed up the boards. Crevier cuts it off, keeps it onside, swatted back in behind. Dominic Toninato leaned onto the corner, sticks with it, puts the puck to the other side. Fed back to the line by Doc. Crevier backhanded down the boards. Colton Doc reaching and sticks with it as he works the puck on the far side. Crevier, Grizzly with a one-timer. Binnington save. Rebound comes free and it winds up in the corner. Fed back ahead. Grizzly with a pass that's intercepted. And controlled by Carbonneau. Now carried out by the Blues. Lofted softly in wide of the goal.
Another good shift by Toninato's line, and Hayes and Misiak as wingers created another couple scoring chances for the Blackhawks.
Oliver Moore on the fly. He's quick, trying to jab it in around Mayu. They come together. Puck to Green on the near corner, but he's bumped, and the Blues able to take it away as Schenn, who got the second goal early in this period for the Blues, plays it across. Hawks take it away. Good work there by Korchinski, who makes a pass to Green. Carried in now by Nick Lardis. Oliver Moore. Neighbors hit him. And now it's Schenn from inside his own line with a pass the Neighbors didn't see. The Hawks break it up. One-handed into the zone late in the shift by Mayu as he peels off. Nick Lardis back for Chicago. Under some pressure. Stolen. Dangerous Robert Thomas with a play in front, and it's fought off by Knight. It bounced off the Hawks defender. Knight's able to make the save and hang on. 6:02 gone, second period. Another opportunity for the Blue.
And Gavin Hayes had another good shift here, driving wide, gets the puck to the net here, creates a little offensive zone time for the Blackhawks. We're going to get another chance on the next shift, but see a little bit more movement here as Doc gets it back to the point. I love this as Grzelcyk widens out, gets outside the shot blocker's lane, delivers it to the net. Two Blackhawks at the net, banging around for a rebound chance.
Grzelcyk spent last season in Pittsburgh after being with the Boston Bruins. Former third-round pick of the boys from Beantown. There's a wrister by Fowler, blocker it away by Knight. Oh, big save by Knight. And another stop with the glove this time as he robs Buchnevich twice. The first one was incredible. Spencer Knight, a couple of nice stops there to keep it a 2-goal game.
Yeah, and those are the passes that Jeff Blashill will not like. That then when you go through your crease to somebody backdoor and you have to rely on your goaltender for a great save like this. And Spencer was dialed in. He was low to the net, saw the puck coming across, and obviously a great push to get that left pad on it.
That was a nice save.
It was a heck of a save.
Good busy. Dickinson carries out for the Hawks. Crisscrossing over the line with Lafferty as the puck's played in. Lafferty there for it. Dickinson on the other side. On the backhand to the line. One-timer bouncer on goal, turned away. Played back to the line, but Murphy wisely peeled off as the Blues get the puck. Thomas plays it over. Parayko swats at it. Now following up with a shot is Jimmy Snuggerud, and misses. Cam Fowler plays the puck around. Grzelcyk trying to get there. Walker on the puck first as he and Grzelcyk come together. Puck played from the corner. Bounces right back. Bad to the point. There's a pass to Nathan Walker, and he'll work it in behind with a pass in front, chipped away. And Mikheyev trying to make a play, is able to find Grzelcyk, who feeds it ahead for Dickinson, steered out to center ice. Sundqvist leaves it just inside the line, fired around by Matt Luff. Comes free to Lafferty, and he'll clear the zone and put it all the way down from the wrong side of center, and that will be an icing call in Chicago with 12.5 minutes left in the second.
And Ilya Mikheyev, who had a sensational, especially second half of the year last year, and seemed like he just gained confidence as the year went on, used his speed, seemed like he got lots of breakaways and great scoring chances just by driving the net. Was able to start finishing, get a little bit of confidence offensively, and it would be nice to see him get 20-plus goals again this year.
Nice pickup for the Hawks. Came from Vancouver, and it really was a pile up in front of the goaltender, and the puck is out of play. But he came over. The Canucks trying to make cap room, so they moved him, and he wound up being a real nice pickup for the Hawks.
Absolutely, great pickup. So nice work again by Kyle Davidson. But you can see the first 48 games last year, 8 goals, and in the last 32, 12. And it seemed like every game he had great scoring chances. He was drawing penalties, and obviously a big part of Jeff Blashill's plans this year. Wearing the A this year, or this game, and it's nice to see. One of the things the Blues have done on a little bit of an adjustment is coming out of their own end. Their wingers are taking off. They're back because the Blackhawks D are playing so tight to them. So as soon as St. Louis gets possession, those wingers are flying the zone and they're flipping pucks to that neutral zone and trying to take advantage of that and get some quick ups.
Puck to the point off the draw. There's a shot turned aside by Knight. Rebound onto the stick of a Hawks forward. That was Tony Nato gets spun around, but the Hawks get control again and feed it in with a shot and a save. Rebound swatted away. Korchinski on it. Plays the puck to the corner. Blues pick it off. Chance to get it out as Schueneman carries to center. Pekarczyk up on the forecheck, but Korchinski back to it. Gets the puck himself. Tries the other side. Nice pass to Hayes. Gavin Hayes down the wing. All the way around. Hawks are changing. Blues take the puck. Cough it up. It's stolen. Played across on the far wing. Turning is Hayes. Pass back. Deflects to Crevier. Winds up. Shoots and put that wide. Colton Dock off the bench into the play. Gets it behind the net to Misiak. Got it in front. Binnington down. Able to make the stop. And he hangs on.
Good little play down in the offensive zone. There's the Blues off the face-off. Nice little one-timer from the side, but easy save for Spencer Knight. That's what happens at the other end. As you can see, Misiak rips one off the pads, and that's a good shot from there, shooting for a rebound. And then there's a good play by Doc as Misiak sees him, a little give and go. Hard to the net, little push off in front. So that's where Doc's going to have to make it by crashing and banging and getting to that net front like he did on that play.
Hawks don't have a lot of size up front. Doc, one of their big forwards. They would love to see him turn into a guy who can, like you said, Tony, stand in front of the goaltender, drop the mitts occasionally.
Stick his nose in there.
Yeah, be physical.
He's got the size and strength. He did it at times last year, and I know it's something that the Blackhawks lineup could use. Great opportunity for him.
He shows that in the preseason. He's got a spot on this team.
I agree.
So,
yeah, and that's what these young guys that are battling for spots have to do. They gotta get noticed every game. And Moore's been using his speed. He's been good on the PK. Doc, you saw him take the puck to the net there. Every player, like I said, in any game like this, even though you're down 2-0, even though you don't have a NHL lineup in there from top to bottom, you got some young players in there that got a great opportunity to make a name for themselves and maybe even earn a roster spot.
Reichel in on the forecheck. Puck comes loose. Blues control. Chance to get it out. Carried to center by Jake Neighbors. He'll gain the red line and chip it in. Not deep. Murphy there to fire it over to Ethan Del Mastro. Nick Lardis. That'll be offside. And they blow it down. Enjoy all the perks of a suite with the best seats in the building. Purchase a group of 10 or more tickets with seats right behind the team benches and receive 40 Blackhawks points with every ticket to use on food and beverage at the game. Go to Blackhawks.com/groups and get your experience secured today. Midway mark of the second period. Two teams played a 10-round shootout game in this building last season, Tony.
I remember that one.
And the Blues wound up winning.
Yeah. And
they made the playoffs on a tiebreaker. They finished tied with Calgary, 96 points. So you think about that point, you could have lots of examples.
That was a big one.
That was a big one.
Awful exciting for the fans. I don't know how much the coaches like the shootouts.
Or the goalies.
Or the goalies for sure not, but the fans sure do love it.
6-5 was the final. It was a fun game. Well, the Hawks didn't quite pull out the victory in the shootout. Lots to enjoy in that matchup against these two rivals. Buchnevich trying to feather one through. Never got it there. Hawks break it up. Mikheyev able to settle it down. Feeds it ahead for Dickinson. Buchnevich breaks it up. Plays it ahead to Snuggerud. Takes a spill. And the puck comes out over the blue line. Played back in on Knight. Del Mastro, Lafferty, little tip pass, finds Dickinson down the wing. Walker sticks to him. Dickinson took a pretty good bump as he was knocked down. It was Mayu coming back to throw that hit on number 16. Luff gets the loose puck. Dickinson fine, pops right back up. Blues break in. Pass to Walker. Had a bit of a lane, but it was off the mark. Back in front. And that's off the goalie and off the post on that opportunity for Sundqvist. Knight got a piece of it, then a rattle off the outside of the goalpost. As the Hawks clear the zone out to center ice. Mayu banks it ahead. Luff steers it in. Korchinski pressured. Sundqvist gets there ahead of him and works the puck in the corner. Checked. Mikheyev makes a play. Tony Nato feeds it back. Nolan Allen trying to get it out. Banks the puck to an open wing. Allen's pass hit the linesman in the skate. Parayko pressured. That's off a stick deep. Binnington makes a play over to Cam Fowler. Feeds it ahead. Now a race back to the Hawks zone. Matt Grzelcyk chops at it. Puck comes free to Crevier. Pass by Hayes didn't get through a stick. Now it's scooped up. Dvorsky cuts in deep. The play up the boards to Fowler. Walks the line. Fowler. Good job there on the pressure by Misiak. And now Fowler forced back. A little penalty coming up to the Hawks. Binnington skates out for the extra attacker. Makes a play. And now Fowler on the attack. Delayed call. Extra attacker out. Plays it across. Pass over off the stick of a diving Hayes. Puck stays in play. Fed back to the line to Parayko. Leaves it for Fowler. Dvorsky gets the return pass. Little flipper back towards Parayko. Fowler. Wrist shot. Pad save. Rebound. Jabbed at. Puck still loose. Finally the Hawks touch it. And the Blues will get their first power play of the night.
Spencer Knight had to make another big save there as he fought through the screen to get a pad on that one.
And Crevier is going to the box.
Dog number 46, 2 minutes. Holding.
Crevier for the hold. And that's the penalty right there. So a PK coming up for the Hawks next.
And here's the penalty on Crevier as he goes. Well, I'm not so sure about that one, Rick, but the referees are in preseason as well. And this is Petty Waugh style here. Come up to the blue line, make a little play, and then go off for the extra man. And there's the shot that Fowler rips through with a little bit of traffic in there that Spencer Knight follows.
21 saves for Knight tonight. Blues on the power play. First penalty kill for the Hawks in this game. Pass in front and a block there by Del Mastro as Buchnevich looked for a backdoor opportunity. Thomas plays the puck to the point to Fowler. Robert Thomas, side of the goal, played in front by Snuggerud. It bounced off Del Mastro and smothered by Knight.
Yeah, and the Blackhawks power play earlier that you saw kind of a bunch of guys that probably won't be on your power play opening night. And this St. Louis Blues power play, these guys are going to be on there on opening night. So they got their regulars in the lineup. A good little block by Del Mastro here. You saw Knight had a great push. Was probably going to make that save anyways.
Fowler works it across the line. He'll play it back over. Buchnevich feeds it down the boards. Gets the return pass on the right side and gets it set up. Fowler. Here's Thomas. Looking for a tip from Shen, but he couldn't get a stick to it. The puck out of the corner and out to center ice. Minute 20 left in the power play as Jimmy Snuggerud backhands it in and heads in after it himself. Thomas waiting for it. Tip back to Fowler. Now Thomas. Boy, did he close the season strong last year. At 40 points his final 26 games. For the Blues, nice work there on the PK as Mikheyev, who's terrific out there on the penalty kill. 3 shorthanded goals last season for number 95. Most on the team. Long feed. Shen works in. Takes a look. Stopped by Knight. Got the glove on that. Fought off that shot by Braden Shen and covers the rebound for a face-off.
And I love how Spencer Knight made that save because he trusted his defenseman to take the guy going back door. He challenged the shooter, stood tall, didn't go down early. You can see it here. You can see the St. Louis player going back door. And Spencer Knight stands tall, doesn't give the short side of the net, holds his position, makes the save, and gobbles up the rebound.
Off the draw, Hawks flip it to the line, not out, kicked down the boards by Mayu, but it's stolen by Moore. He's got pace. Moore goes wide, Green with him, but Moore turns back as Mailloux was able to cut him off. Now the Hawks clear and all the way down. Final half minute of the penalty to Louis Crevier. 5.5 left here in the second period. Dvorsky on the attack. Puck all the way around for Neighbors. Watched by Dickinson. Mailloux. Back to Neighbors. Dvorsky. One more time for Mailloux. And that winds up deflecting out of play for a face-off with 6 seconds left in the penalty.
Good stick by Mikheyev, and you can see how aggressive Chicago wants to be up top, and Mikheyev goes out hard to the point and is able to get a stick on that puck and deflect it up and into the stands or into the netting. There's Mikheyev, who we've been bragging about, talking up a lot. There's the stick. Gets out there and deflects it up into the netting.
Stay out there on the PK.
There's your 3 shorthanded goals for us up on the screen. Frankie Nazar with 1, Nicky Foligno with 2.
And Mikheyev gets the puck off the draw, clears the zone. That'll do it as Crevier steps out of the box. 2 shots on the power play for the Blues. Hawks have killed it off. Crevier races across right to the bench. Puck ricochets in deep. Lafferty under some pressure as he's leaned on by Carbonneau. Penalty coming up to the Blues. Delayed call. Del Mastro plays the puck over to Korchinski as Spencer Knight heads to the bench for the extra attacker. Lafferty drop pass. Little flip pass by Reichel on the backhand is intercepted, and now we got a fight. Doc drops the gloves with Mailloux.
So we talked about Colton Doc getting his nose into it and getting a little bit nasty. And good little scrap going there. The 2 young fellas.
Similar size. Doc is 6'4", 200 pounds. Mailloux is 6'3", 210. And a pretty good tilt.
Crowd sure likes it. We got a little bit of noise in the building.
But yeah, we mentioned earlier, Tony, Doc, that's, he's got to bring that presence. They don't expect him to fight every night, but that size, you got to be willing to do it.
St. Louis, number 68, 2-minute minor, holding. I'll let you guys 5 each for fighting.
So the original penalty was to the Blues that will send the Hawks to the power play. Right there, the hold by Carbonneau. Hawks have the man advantage next.
And we're going to see Lafferty as he dumps the puck in, takes a big hit. Colton Doc sees it, doesn't like it, goes over there and challenges Mailloux. And this is something that, we keep mentioning about Doc as a bigger, stronger, tough kid is going to have to stand up for his teammates in the same way that Foligno and Murphy and Dickinson that we saw earlier do it last year against St. Louis. It'll help him gain a lot of points with the coaching staff and his teammates.
So they each get 5 for fighting. The original penalty was on Carbonneau, who sits for the hold, and the Hawks on their second power play of the game. We'll go to work here with the puck deep in their own zone. Grizzly takes the puck and drops it off. Green on the wing now for Mikheyev, who dumps it around. Lardis gets to it in the corner. Puck comes back to Matt Grizzly. Over to Mikheyev, Grizzly. Onto the wing, now it's Reichel with the puck. Played it in front, finds its way back to Grizzly. Over to Lardis with a shot, and he put it wide. Green. Lardis stick breaks. He's able to get to the bench as the Hawks control and reset on the power play. Nick Lardis makes a pass back to Grizzly. Here's a chance. Reichel with a shot. Never got it through. It hit Mikheyev in the skate. Blues get the loose puck, cleared all the way down the ice.
Really good movement by the Blackhawks. They hit the pocket man twice. Reichel had it once. He could have probably turned and shot. Instead, drove down low, tried to make another play, and saw execute that play there again. The second chance that they had.
Puck fired in. Hawks on it. Go to work again. Tony Nato from the corner with a pass up the boards to Moore. Oliver Moore, nice little move and a shot. That was blocked. Moore gets it back. Stick breaks to the Blues defender. Here's a chance, Korchinski. Moore again. That pad save, Bennington. Rebound, Bennington down. Hawks on it. Moore takes a look. Walks towards the slot. Drops it off to Korchinski. Return pass to Moore. Moore, side of the goal. Settle down. Hawks reset. There's a shot up high. Turned aside. Mishiak with a look. Boy, this power play looks much sharper than it did in the first period, Tony.
It sure does, and a lot of it was getting pucks to the net, recovering them, getting back, and starting over.
Korchinski back to it. Final seconds of the man advantage. Hawks work it down the boards. Penalty comes to an end. 2 shots on the man advantage. Some good looks, but still 2-0 Blues. Late stages second period. Buchnevich trying to cut through. Denied by Murphy, and Del Mastro winds up with control. Ethan Del Mastro will scoop it up and work it out as he skates to center ice. Feeds it ahead. Lafferty at the top of the circle with a shot. Never couldn't get it past Parayko. Fired back around for Connor Murphy. Pass in front deflected. Pinballs back to Dickinson at the point, but he couldn't get to it. Knocked away by Buchnevich, who wants a penalty. Stick knocked out of his hands. Officials say play on. So they do as Buchnevich gets the puck back. Fowler trying to gain entry. Denied. Good stick there by Dickinson, who steals the puck. Hawks have numbers. Lafferty, Dickinson dropped it back, but racing back into the play was Fowler. Denied that opportunity. Dvorsky on the counter to the slot, off a skate. It bounced off of Pekarchik, who, had that been on a stick, would have had a great scoring chance.
It is too many men.
Now we got a whistle here, and
Blackhawks back to the power play.
Yeah, right back on the man advantage with 1:27 left in the period. The Blues get an extra guy on the ice, and the Hawks will have an extra man on the power play.
Next line of penalty. Too many men on the ice.
Yeah, this one was pretty obvious. St. Louis forward jump shot a little bit early, but here's a chance earlier. This is just a great forecheck by Dickinson. Good stick, forces the turnover. Here's Lafferty to Dickinson, and Dickinson tries one too many passes, and St. Louis does a good job tracking back to cause that turnover. But I'm sure Blash is going to be telling him on the bench, hey guys, a little quicker to the net there. We don't need that extra pass.
Hawks control off the draw. Lardis fires it back, gets the return pass from Grizzly, who has it one more time. Matt Grizzly on the left side with that pass. Fed to the side of the goal to McKayev. Hawks move the puck with confidence. On the man advantage, tipped in front, and Binnington makes a save off Reichel. Puck still loose. Comes free. Lardis swats at it, but the Blues able to muscle it away, and it's cleared down the ice by Brayden Schenn.
Well, I can tell you that the power play coach is going to be happy there, as Mike Bellucci's probably identified before the game. That pocket guy is going to be available, and that's the third play in these last 2 power plays they've gotten the puck to him.
McKayev across the line with a pass. It bounces free on the far side. Reichel kept it in, but stolen and cleared by Jurczyk. Puck winds up going out of play with 48.7 to go in the period.
Yeah, you can see Reichel there finding that little soft spot in there as the pass goes down to the goal line. Reichel finds it, gets a good whack at it. Binnington gets his pad on it. You can see Lardis converging on the net for that rebound, and good little stick by Schuenem, and you can see it right there, and Schenn's able to clear it out. But good offensive zone plays by the Blackhawks on this power play.
Green against Sundqvist in the face-off circle, and wins another one for the Hawks as Green pulls it back to Grizzly. Here's Lardis. Grizzly. Lardis on the right flank, plays the puck to the side of the goal to McKayev. Nice pass back to Grizzly. Fed across, tipped in front. Reichel over to Lardis with a shot. Pinballed off a stick wide. Played back to Reichel. Great movement by the Hawks. Reichel, one-timers. Blocked in front, and the loose puck scooped up and cleared by Fowler with a half minute to go in the period. Boy, oh boy, this power play looks like a completely different power play we saw.
It does, and for 5 guys that probably haven't been on the ice too much together, they're zipping around pretty good there.
Reichel on the attack. Dumps the puck in deep, knocks it free, gets it back. Finds Lardis. Final 10 seconds of the period. Pass back to Lardis, tipped away. Blues chance to get it out. Worked down the wing by Walker, dumped in deep, and that'll do it for period number 2 with 33 seconds left in the penalty that will send the Hawks to the power play to start the third.
And there's the movement. You can see it's pretty quick, and it gets the goaltender out of position. I don't think as Green got that one puck, he realized how much net he had, or he would have returned and released it. But really good movement by the Blackhawks. And both of these sequences started off of face-off wins by Green.
Been good on the draw, and boy, when you win the draw on the power play in the offensive zone, it leads stop or getting set for the third, but the power play looked good. What did you think of that middle frame for Chicago, Tony?
I like the fact that they got going on the attack, got a little bit more on their toes, and some of the younger players. Hayes, I thought his line was on the forecheck a lot, created some good chances, drew a couple penalties, got on the power play. The power play had some good movement. And you know Jeff Blashill's going to push the guys this period to find a way to get that first one and get back in the game.
Start this third with 33 seconds left in the power play. Shots were dead even in that period, 11 apiece. Spencer Knight has stopped 23 of 25. He's been sharp, so has Binnington. 16 shots fired his way. Colton Dach in the box after his fight with Logan Mailloux. So they still sit serving their 5. As Mailloux makes his way across. And we're set for the third in St. Louis. Another face-off win for Green. He's 10-6 now in the game. Takes a bit of a whack from Schenn. Gets the puck. Green to center with a pass over now to Reichel. Feathers one through, looking for Lardis. Jabs at it. Parayko took it away. Put it behind the net. Hawks steal. But unable to make a play in front was Green, who had fallen down in traffic. And Parayko relieves the pressure with a pass to his partner Fowler. Carried down the wing by Joseph with a shot, and that misses the net off the glass and out of play.
And we have a nice guest that jumped in to say hi, and Kelly Chase, one of my favorite players in the NHL. And I know he's a St. Louis Blue, but he's still going to get a big hug from me. And you can see Colton Dach, after this shot goes up and out of play, is getting out of the penalty box. But he'll be back in action and on the ice soon for the Blackhawks.
And that's a new goalie for the Blues. This was the plan. Binnington played 40. Will Cranley now between the pipes. Former Ottawa 67 in the Ontario League. He's 23 years old, 6'4", 194. Final seconds of this power play for the Hawks. And now it comes to an end. Back to 5-on-5. 2 shots for Chicago on the man advantage. Back to even strength. Early stages, third period. Del Mastro winds up with the puck, retreats. Shadow by Walker. Makes a play up the boards now to Lafferty. Dropped off. Murphy there. Bank pass. Steered in by Oliver Moore. Dickinson on the forecheck. Cranley out to play it. Hawks keep it on side as Del Mastro steps around a check. Gains some ice, works the puck to the corner. Walker intercepted the pass, played to the other side. Murphy there to cut it off. He'll flip it in behind. Took a bounce off a stanchion right onto a blue stick. Back into traffic. Dickinson gets the puck free, but we have a penalty coming up. It'll be interference on the Hawks, and looks like Connor Murphy's going to the box and isn't very happy about it.
I think this is one where he gets a stick over
Chicago,
his opponent's
5,
stick.
2-minute minor interference.
And he gets the interference call, and you can see Connor's confused as he heads to the box. He's along the boards. He came down pretty hard on that. I think anytime you raise your stick above your shoulders and come down on it, the referees are going to raise their arms. So.
Chop the stick out of the hands of the Blues player. Second power play for St. Louis. They're 0 for 1. Face-off win Hawks. Puck off the boards and down the ice by Nolan Allen. Another win by Green in the face-off circle.
Time of the penalty, 1:13.
Robert Thomas down the wing for the Blues, all the way around for Schenn. Jabs it free, but it's broken up by the Hawks defenseman Allen and cleared down the ice by Green. They'll change up on the PK. At least they're forwards. 2 fresh skaters off the bench for Chicago. Fowler bumps it back. Cam Fowler, by the way, just announced during the break, has signed a 3-year contract extension with the Blues. Here's a chance. Snuggerud with a shot, put it high. Big bounce off the glass, played around, kept in. Fowler. Down the boards for Thomas. Pass deflected by Crevier. Puck goes all the way down the ice.
And that's the situation that Jeff Blashill was saying. When you can get to the puck, or get to the player when the puck arrives, you can go as a defenseman, and Crevier went way above the dots to force that turnover and get the puck down the ice.
There's Green back out on the PK. Does a good job to pick up the puck, clear it all the way down. Cranley leaves it behind the net for Logan Mailloux. For Luff on the right side. Throws one in front off the stick of Del Mastro. And again, it's fired down the ice by Ryan Green.
Hawks doing a really good job of retrieving pucks on dumps and finding ways to get the puck down the ice 200 feet.
Blues back in. Pass broken up. Long feed. Short-handed opportunity for Lafferty. Takes a peek over his shoulder and a stop by Cranley. Great chance there. Sam Lafferty shorthanded to get the Hawks on the board, and Cranley able to make the stop to keep it 2-0 Blues. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Murphy. Here's Luff on the attack, and Knight makes the save and hangs on.
Well, good job by the Blackhawks again of creating those turnovers on the entries. You can see this one, they force a bad pass. The pass gets directly up to Lafferty. He's center ice and in, tries to cut to the net and go upstairs, and Cranley's able to stand tall and keep it out of the net.
So Lafferty back with the Hawks. Actually came back in a trade with Mikheyev last summer, but didn't sign. He was a free agent, went to Buffalo, and then from Buffalo traded back to Chicago this offseason.
Yeah, and since he was here a few years ago, the Blackhawks know what he's bringing to the locker room. And again, it's so important for the older players to understand that this is a young team, and they need the veterans to come in here and lead, and Lafferty will be one of those guys.
Hawks kill off the penalty, back to 5-on-5. One shot for the Blues on the power play. Puck flipped to the line and out the center ice by Nick Lardis. Slides back inside the Blues blue line. And now here's a play ahead to Walker. Stumbled but makes a pass, and Joseph with a shot that goes wide. Korchinski gets the rebound off the end boards and finds Reichel with speed down the right side. Lardis with him. Here's Lardis with a shot. Deflected on goal and fought off by Cranley, and he's able to cover up as the Hawks crash the net. Cause a little havoc in the crease after a pretty good scoring opportunity on that rush.
Nice speed by the Hawks there. Again, starts on their own end with good D-zone coverage, create the turnover. Korchinski made a great play up the ice as you can see him get it up to Reichel, and here they go on the attack. You can see the Hawks get up, and there's the quick little play to the net. Cranley needs to make a big save. And again, you can see the Blackhawks at the net front stopping in that paint, try to cause a little havoc there.
Tony Nato out for the draw against Robert Thomas. Blues control. Mailloux banks it ahead. Snuggerud plays it back to Thomas. Tied up by Nishiak. Hawks force a turnover, and away they go. Wheeling down the right side, Gavin Hayes with a play around the boards. Tony Nato back to Hayes behind the net, hopped off a stick, gets helped out by Tony Nato. He's checked down low. Shoveled ahead by the Blues. Grizzly swats it back to the corner. Dominic Tony Nato with a bank pass back to Matt Grizzly. Played across on the other side to Korchinski. Shoots, deflected wide. Grizzly pinching, lets it go. And that bounced off Tony Nato and off his skate, didn't get through. Blues take it away, and it's cleared up by Schuneman. Buchnevich plays it across. Snuggerud trying to work around. Korchinski knocks the puck away. And the Hawks have a chance to get it out. It bounced off a skate towards Hayes, but Parayko takes it away and bumps it back. Big Neighbors at center. Puck deep. Matthew Joseph onto it. Turns from Doc. Grizzly for the Hawks. Bumped in the corner. Oliver Moore will try the other side. Neighbors on him quickly. Puck stays in the zone, but the Hawks are back on it. Korchinski's pass off a skate. Green can't get there. Blues keep it onside. Well, the pass back to Parayko was moving in, went in behind. The puck winds up in the neutral zone. St. Louis has to tag up. Hawks get the puck and are able to settle things down. As Moore leaves it, two players go to the ice. Puck sits free. Now Joseph will retreat back towards his own blue line. Fowler takes his time. Came over to trade from Anaheim in December of last season. As he makes a pass to Carbonneau. On the wing, far side. Dvorsky tried to get it back over. That was picked off, and here comes Nick Lardis. Down the right wing, Lardis into the zone. He'll play it in deep. Up on the forecheck. Puck bouncing back to the line. Murphy checked, and the puck slides out to the neutral zone. Murphy's there to bump it back over to Del Mastro. Pass picked up on the wing by Reichel. Lardis couldn't corral that one. Loose in the slot. Oh, shot never got through. That was Cates with an opportunity. Hawks regain control. Here's Reichel again. Sharp angle stopped, and the rebound poked back to the corner and off the pad of the goaltender Cranley. Hawks pressuring, looking to cut this lead to 1. As Del Mastro shakes the pressure and tries to get a shot away. It's off a stick high, and Will Cranley will snag that, playing center field and hang on as the Hawks turn on the heat. with 13 and a half minutes left. Third period of play. The Hawks and the Blues in St. Louis on Chicago Sports Network.
And Lardis, who likes to score goals, as he got that 71 last year. You can see him, even though it's a bad angle, it's a good shot. He gets it right back to him, and he throws it at the net again. So he's making sure his goaltender. And I mean, look at these numbers by it. 71 goals in 65 games, and in the playoffs, he had another 11 goals in 7 games. So he knows how to put the puck in the net, and it's an adjustment for sure coming from juniors to pro hockey. And he'll probably start the year in Rockford, and hopefully he can find a way to find the net there, and someday soon we'll see him up in Chicago.
Hawks have held the Blues just one shot the last 12 and a half minutes of playing time. Well, starting the second period, Tony, their game started to come around. A little more connected. The power plays looked good. The PK was sharp early in this period.
Yeah, I agree with Rick, that connected thing, it's so meaningful in the game of hockey, because when you get the puck, if you're connected, you'll have it out, and you'll have a place to, get the puck to a teammate. And I think that's exactly what the Blackhawks have been doing. Great support. They've been talking and communicating with one another, and they've been using their speed. So it has been a good last 10 or 15 minutes of this game.
Lafferty clears the zone. Parayko goes back to it. 7 minutes gone here in the third. Hawks round 1-0 after 1, 2-0 after 2. And that puck is off the boards and out of play. Well, attention, Blackhawks fans. Don't miss a moment of the action. Be the first to know about breaking news, exclusive ticket offers, and exciting retail drops, all delivered straight to your phone. Sign up today. Blackhawks text alerts. Just text BHawks to 242-957.
Well, you got a feeling with the way the game has gone and the jump that the Blackhawks have right now, that they're going to get one and get back into this game.
Hawks on the plane right after the game back to Chicago, and then the next group will head to Minnesota tomorrow for a game against the Wild in St. Paul. And we'll have that for you right here on Chicago Sports Network. It's going to be a 5 o'clock start tomorrow evening, or late afternoon. Long shot, never got through, hit traffic in front. That hurt Buchnevich, who goes down. Hawks clear the zone. On the forecheck is Mishiak, but the Blues have it and a chance to get it out. Played across. Mayu gains the line, trying to dangle through. Pushed off the puck, but following up is Snuggerud, cuts in front, and the puck slides free. Flips back to the point. Mayu was backing off, winds up near the Blues blue line. Back on the attack. Juracek into the zone. That's off stick, and the puck goes out of play.
And here's Mayu as he tries to stick handle through. He's picked up by Snuggerud. And for a big guy, Snuggerud's got some really nifty hands there. He finds a way to get it to the net. 21-year-old Jimmy Snuggerud. Another first-round pick of the St. Louis Blues.
Product out of the University of Minnesota. Talked about that earlier. Former teammates with Sam Renzel and Oliver Moore. Connor Murphy, little banker, finds his way to Green. He'll play it ahead, and the Hawks have a chance to get it out. Slides to an open wing at center. Lofted back in by the Blues. Del Mastro. Taken by Joseph, fed back to the far point. Quick shot misses off the back of the net. Matthew Joseph checked. Murphy sweeps it away. And Colton Dock able to backhand it out. Juracek with a pass up the wing to Neighbors off his skate. That's intercepted. Nolan Allen over to Korchinski. He'll skate to center ice. Play it in deep. Reichel after it. Puck comes back to Allen. Down the boards to Lucas Reichel. Lardis. Nice pass back to Reichel. Reichel can't get a shot away. Forced wide. He'll stay with it though. Although it bobbled off his stick, and the Blues have a chance to jab it out to center and back inside the Hawks blue line. Quickly played ahead. Here's Lardis one more time. Allen with him on the rush. Defenseman up on the play. Makes a pass towards Reichel. Bump back to Korchinski. Reichel to the circle with a play down low off a skate. Larda's trying to get to the loose puck. Taken away from him and fired ahead by Carbonneau. Worked in now by Dvorsky. Chasing after it is Pekarczyk. But the Hawks pick it up inside the line and play it out. Korchinski leads the way into the zone this time. End of a shift for Hane. He'll dump it in deep and head towards the bench. And now they blow it down. Say it was offside. Midway mark. Third period. Still 2-0 Blues on Chicago Sports Network. This year, including Anton Frondell, Tony, they're really high on this big Swedish forward. Terrific young player. Playing in the Swedish Men's League right now, and his first goal in that league.
How about that? And it's a big power forward move. He gets to the net, pushes off his check, finds a way to get his stick on it, and Blackhawk fans will be seeing a lot of him in the future. Saw him play quite a bit international play this year. And I don't know if he's quite a Barkov or Bennett quite yet, but that's the style of play he has. There's some pretty good Swedes that have come out of that country, boy, oh boy. And Anton Frondell makes that list. Third overall pick, the same as one of the Sedins.
Let him mature a little bit back in his homeland and playing a high level of hockey there too. So that was a nice tip in for his first goal in that league. Here's a chance for a goal for the Blues, and a good save there by Knight on that rush by Buchnevich. Knight's been good.
He has been. He gave up that lousy goal. The first one was one that for sure he should have had, but after that, man, he has made some really big saves.
That was the 28th shot by the Blues in this game. Lafferty with the tip in. Puck goes right to Cranley. He'll knock it aside, but McKayev there to pick it up. Lafferty trying to get it in front. That hit traffic. Del Mastro fires it over. Murphy, wrist shot wide. Bounce off the end boards. Lafferty cuts behind. Makes a pass. Toninato feeds it back. Gets it back. Scores in off a skate. Went off Mayu. And Toninato makes it a one-goal game with 9:02 to go in the third.
And what's been very obvious as this game has progressed, the Blackhawks are gaining more confidence on winning races to puck, just being more on their toes, and they've done it. They've taken over. They've gotten some good scoring chances, and they're finally able to get a little bit of a lucky bounce here off a defenseman's skate, but nonetheless, it is well earned. You can see Murphy makes the play down. You see the net front presence as McKayev is holding the net front. And we've got a 2-1 hockey game. Toninato stays on the ice.
Good to see them rewarded too, Tony, because we've seen this Hawks team play much better the last half of this game. And they finally find the back of the net off the skate of the defenseman Logan Mayu, and it's 2-1 now with 8:55 to go as that puck went out of play. Will face off back out at center ice.
Here's one of the veterans, Connor Murphy. We talked about him earlier. He was 17th in the league in blocked shots last year, and he missed 14 games. So he is one guy that leaves it out on the ice when he's out there, and great for the young defenseman to see a veteran player that is so professional on how he practices and how he acts, and certainly how he plays.
And we get a whistle. I think it was a hand pass. One more look at that goal by Dominique Toninato.
You can see Lafferty winning the battle down there. McKayev jumps to open space, and there's a little give and go. As you can see, Murphy was going to jump around to get open, and Toninato decides to throw it at the net. And
here's another chance, and they score. This time Toninato set it up, and it was fired in by Gavin Hayes. Two quick ones, and the Hawks have tied this up at 2.
All right. All off the forecheck again. And then Gavin Hayes, who had probably the best second period of the Blackhawk forwards. He got in on the forecheck quite a bit. This comes off a face-off win, and Jeff Blashill's going to like this. Gain center ice, get the puck in deep. That's not Binnington in net. You can see the other goaltender doesn't handle the puck nearly as well as Binnington does. And Blackhawks are able to jump on that loose puck. Gavin Hayes goes to the net. Toninato with a goal and assist in a very short period of time here. And the Blackhawks have tied this game up.
27 seconds apart, those two goals. And we're all even. Blues flip it in. Let's show you what a great tool it is to have a goaltender who's a good stick handler, though, you know, Tony. Play the puck.
I mean, it really does. And that puck came around the boards. It was kind of awkward, and goaltender there, Cranley, like you said, not nearly as talented or experienced as Binnington, gets by him, and Toninato on the forecheck was able to recover that, and quick pass out to the net front, and we get an empty net goal by Hayes.
21-year-old Hayes, third-round pick at 22. Out of Flint in the Ontario League. He's a native of Ypsilanti, Michigan. Played in Rockford last season. Colton Dock on the forecheck. Bumping in the corner. Puck played over to Fowler by Parayko, and the Blues will break out. Parayko gets the pass and plays it ahead to Schenn. Schenn trying to cut around Korchinski. Can't do it. Fires it back. Miss Joseph. That clears itself, and Fowler has to go to it. 12 minutes gone, third period. Parayko. Schenn gets around Lardis, bumping with Nolan Allen. Allen sticks to Schenn. One hands it to the near corner. Neighbors plays it back. Shot by Mailloux, turned away by Knight. Lardis able to bank it over to Korchinski. He'll play it out, but he missed his man with a pass. Not quite enough for icing. Hawks are changing. Kate stays in on the forecheck. Luff feeds it over. Sundqvist and Luff chasing. Del Mastro causes all sorts of havoc. He runs both Blues forwards off the forecheck, and the Hawks get it out. Nick Lardis on the forecheck the other way. Takes a shoulder in the corner. Blues get control, but Reichel, who's had a good bit of jump here the second half of this game, up hard for the Hawks. Blues' second chance, finally worked the puck to center as Walker puts that off the boards deep. Bouncer in the corner, Reichel onto it, away he goes. Little flipper finds its way through. Here's Lafferty right in. Can't get the shot away, poked away at the last second. What a chance there on that setup.
What a pass by Reichel. Flipped it up and over the defenseman's head and left it laying in the high slot.
That would have been nice.
That was a nice little play.
Here's Grizzly. Hot pass across for Dickinson. Didn't quite connect, and that goes over the line offside, and we get a whistle. With 6:24 to go in the third. How about this pass? The alley-oop.
The old alley-oop, and good little play as Lafferty tries to go back to his forehand, but see, it's a bouncing puck, kind of corrals it, tries to pull the goalie over to the backhand side and go back to his forehand side. The goalie doesn't bite on it, is able to stay with it. Defenseman comes back to get a stick on it, but you mentioned Reichel there, and he has. He's used his speed this period. He's created some offense. He's got a little bit of confidence going with his line mates.
Blues had a wide edge in play in the first period, but since 10 minutes into the second, Tony, it's been the Hawks really turning up the heat. That shot by Thomas, gloved by Knight, calmly snags that one and hangs on.
Yeah, and one of the turning points that I think Colton Dock's fight. I think him standing up for a teammate. Lafferty got drilled late on the play, and they drew a penalty on the hit that Lafferty took. But Colton Dock went and challenged Mailloux and did well in the fight. The bench was pumped up, and then the power play went out there. Didn't score, but created some good offensive chances, and it looks like they got a little momentum off of that. And they've been carried on some of the play over.
Yeah, here's Parayko off the draw with a play in front. And a good job there by Grizzly to tie up the stick. Blues on it, though. Parayko one more time. Rister deflected, and pad save by Spencer Knight. Puck played to the line and out. Trying to catch up to it was Mishiak, but can't quite get there. Bump back into the Blues own zone. Flip to center. And Green drops it off. Here's Crevier. That's deflected down the ice, so no icing on the play. Parayko one more time will just loft it out. A little backspinner at center. Moore. Green back to Moore. Trying to get it back to Green, who's onto the puck now with a pass to the line. Korchinski fanned on it, ricochets across. Allen thought about standing his ground, elects to back off. Wisely Blues, 3 of them into the zone with a play to the side of the goal, tip wide, fed back in front. Intercepted by Doc, and he'll clear off the boards. Long feed finds its way ahead to Carbonell, but stolen by Del Mastro. Gets it back from Connor Murphy. Inside 5 to go in the third. A tie game here in St. Louis. Chipped into the zone by the Hawks. Schoenemann back to it with a play across. Mailloux banks it up the boards. And there's Schenn off a skate. Hawks steal. Backhanded in high. Jackson Cates puts it deep at the end of his shift and goes to the bench. Logan Mailloux. Nice stick there by Lafferty. Dumped in by Del Mastro. Dickinson up after it. Gets some help from Mikheyev. Lafferty trying to fish it free, but Neighbors gets it for the Blues and feeds it out to Matthew Joseph. Working in on Louis Crevier. Crevier, long stick, long reach, jabs the puck free. Hawks get it out. Banked down the boards by Mikheyev. Dropped off for Parayko. As he gets it over now to Cam Fowler. Fowler into the zone, swatted away again by Crevier, and the puck's back over the blue line.
It's nice to have a long stick like Louis Crevier to break those plays up.
Luff on the attack. Walker chops it back towards Luff. It took a bounce off the boards. Luff able to get the puck though. That pass deflected. Parayko with a one-timer off the wall, and that's deflected. And it winds up going out of play. 3.5 left, third period. Tie game thanks to 2 goals less than a minute apart by Tony Nato and Gavin Hayes. We're all even in St. Louis.
Well, the Blackhawks, who have had having trouble finding the back of the net to start this game. Toninato is in on the forecheck on one, gets one, and on the second one the same thing on the forecheck. He recovers this puck to find Gavin Hayes, and within 27 seconds, the Blackhawks have tied this game up.
3.5 left, third period.
Those guys are dying to get back out on the ice to get that third one. There's Hayes and Toninato, 2 goal scorers.
Blues win the draw. Shot by Parayko. A rocket misses. Puck kept in just. Now it comes free to Doc, and he'll get the puck to center ice. Blues on it. Fowler with the pass. Sundqvist. Big hit by Doc. Steps up and knocks down Sundqvist, and then Doc gets challenged by Parayko. And that draws a crowd. Meantime, they score! The other way, Moore puts the puck in. Play was continuing as the practice was out at center ice, and nobody was keeping an eye on Oliver Moore, who went down the ice and scored.
And nobody blew the whistle. So the great job by Ollie Moore to recognize that even though there was a skirmish going on, go finish the play. And I think we're going to have a good goal here as the referees are trying to figure out what's going on here.
It all started with a huge hit by Colton Doc. He just stepped up and rocked the Blues player. Parayko came over. They were shoving each other. Draws a crowd. Moore goes down the ice, puts the puck on the net.
We see some strange things in hockey, and that certainly was one of them. But we're going to take a look at the hit. And Colton Doc stands up. He's back in the neutral zone forecheck. No knee on knee. He's able to stop, and you can see Parayko doesn't like the hit. I think it's a good hit. He gets him in the chest. And you can see right here, St. Louis loses focus and thinks they're all going to come after Doc. There's the little play up the wall. Moore keeps going. Nobody blows the whistle. Makes a good shot. So the fight is going to ensue after. And you can see all the Blackhawks hanging together. And again, Colton Doc, earlier in the second period in this game, he stood up for a teammate on Lafferty.
The call on the ice is a goal for Chicago. The delayed call to St. Louis. nullified.
So there was a penalty. It would have been on Parayko for stepping in after the head. So a delayed penalty coming up on the Blues, which is nullified by the goal. So it's more or less a moot point. But in the meantime, Oliver Moore is giving the Hawks a 3-2 lead with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, what's not a moot point is Colton Dach. Is the fact that if you want to make a team and you want to have a big impact on an NHL lineup, you do what you did tonight, especially in the second and third period. You got 4 Blues in this situation, worried about Colton Dach. And Oliver Moore finds a loose puck and able to go down there and make a great shot. There's the hit, and then watch all the Blue players. There's Jimmy Montgomery's still trying to figure out what's going on, but clearly there was no whistle because there was just a little pushing and shoving going on at the time. And you know, let's give Colton Dach kudos to what he's done in this game and how his physicality has changed the momentum of this game. And you know, when the first fight happened, the Blackhawks were down 2-0. Big kid, physical kid, young energy.
Yeah, you could feel the momentum swing after his fight with Mayu. Hawks really took over the game after that. They started chipping away at the lead. That hit right there on Oscar Sundqvist was a big one. He's got the energy going in this building, leads directly to a goal. That's exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, I mean, make the other team chase you around the rink.
So the Hawks have scored 3 here in the third and lead 3-2 with 3 minutes to go. And Murphy keeps the play onside as he puts it around the boards. Lafferty trying to get to it in the corner. Dickinson. Sharp angle shot up high on Cranley. Fights that off. Took it off the mask, which falls to the ice as he covers up the puck for a whistle.
Time of the penalty, 16:59.
This is a little shot from the corner that, again, that's a good play by Dickinson to throw it at the net. And
Chicago goal scored by number 11, Oliver Moore.
Cranley takes it high and right in the mask.
16:59. Moore, unassisted.
So Moore gets the goal. It's an unassisted goal, Tony. He played 10 games at the end of last season when he got called up after his season with Minnesota ended. Had 4 assists, didn't score, but he had 33 points in 38 games with the University of Minnesota. Also won back-to-back gold medals with the U.S. and the World Juniors.
Big part of the World Junior team on the PK, his speed again, and that's what we've noticed so far in training camp and in his games last year was when he's on the ice, you recognize him because of that tenacity on the forecheck and that wide speed.
The speed is tremendous. Well, these Blues fans aren't happy there wasn't a call on Dach, but stepped up with that big hit. Looks like Grizzly just got clipped with a high stick by Thomas that went undetected. His play continues, and the Hawks flip the puck down the ice. Not enough for icing, though. Fowler back to it. 2 minutes left. Third period. Mikheyev steers it out. Lafferty working down the right side. Stops on the dime. Bumps it back to Mikheyev. A pass that was tipped, so all he can do is swat it into the corner. Dickinson goes to work behind the net. Pocket picked. Taken away by Thomas. Stolen by Mikheyev. Played back now to Del Mastro. Tried to feed one through. That pass picked off, and it's off a stick and out to center ice.
Good job by the Hawks keeping Cranley in that net. I know Jimmy Montgomery's anxious to get him out there and get that 6th attacker out there.
Approaching the final minute of play. Blues with the puck. A little miscommunication. Now it's controlled by Adam Juracek. Makes a pass over to Matthew Joseph. Cranley goes to the bench for the extra attacker. 6 skaters on for the Blues. Empty net for the Hawks at the other end. As the Blues pressure, Hawks try to get the puck out of the zone. Final minute of play in the third. 3-2 Hawks, all 3 goals in the third for Chicago. Banked around. Allen up the boards. Thomas cuts it off. Shen on the puck, plays it back. Here's Fowler with a pass. Chance now. Joseph shut down by Knight. Big save there by Spencer Knight. Blues recover. Fowler from just inside the line down the board. Shen fires a hot pass across. Hard bounce off the boards. It's corralled and worked back up the wall by Dvorsky. Dropped off to Shen. Back to Dvorsky. Here's Schenn down low. Into the other corner, fed back. Fowler takes a look. And it was saved by Knight. Grabs that, hangs on. 18 seconds left, third period.
And what I like about that is, one, Jeff Blashill has on the ice, he's got Green, Doc, and Moore. 3 young players and 3 future players for the Blackhawks on a 5-on-6 situation. And secondly, when this puck goes back to the top, watch how the Blackhawks box out here. So there's no net front presence. So you can see Spencer Knight, top of his crease, is able to see that whole way in, make that save. And timeout here for St. Louis. And
you had Allen and Crevier on the blue line as well.
And 2 young defensemen and boxing out.
A lot of kids out there in a pressure situation.
Watch Crevier on the side boxing out there, and Allen recovers the net. Now he's going to be the one to push out on his guy coming to the net. You see Schenn is kept to the side, and on the Blackhawk bench, you can see who's in charge of 5-on-6 there. It's Mike Pekka, as you mentioned, his 2 trophies for best defensive forward in the NHL. He's been in a lot of those situations, protecting 1-goal leads in his career.
Came over from the Rangers, where he was an assistant coach the last 2 seasons. All right, face-off will be to the left of Knight. 18.4 to go.
Been a very entertaining hockey game tonight.
Dickinson out against Robert Thomas on the draw. Scramble. Mikheyev gets the puck. Knocks it free to Murphy. He'll try the other side off the glass, but over there to pick it up is Snuggerud. Picked off with the empty net at the other end. It's into the net from Dickinson, all the way down the ice, and that'll seal it with 3 seconds to go. The Hawks roar back with a big third period, and Jason Dickinson's empty netter makes it 4-2 Hawks.
Great third period, like you said, and I think the way they did it, again, the physicality, it's not something that the Blackhawks are known for with all these young players, and to have Colton Dach step up and make that big hit on the winning goal, but earlier in the game step up to defend a teammate. The box outs around the net front to allow Spencer Knight to settle into his game after giving up that first goal. I think is a really bright sign for these young kids to come into a game like this, into a tough building, playing a really good experienced lineup with lots of the St. Louis Blues key players in the lineup.
So the Hawks get 4 in the third. This one ends 4-2 Chicago, and they get their first win of the preseason. Spencer Knight was rock solid, and tale of 2 halves of this game, Tony. The Hawks, I thought, were back on their heels a bit for the first half of the game. You talked about the fight with Colton Dach, a little energy, turned the tables, walked away with a win.
And that's encouraging. Again, as young players, you're sitting on the bench there and you're nervous because the other team's taking over. And you know, the St. Louis, did they come out? They've been sitting around waiting for a game for a few days. They come out. They have a great start to the game. They get lots of energy. You're in an opponent's building. Some of these guys are playing in this building. Lots of these guys are playing in this building for the first time. They kind of gathered their energy as the game moved on, gained a little confidence in one another, and we're going to say this fight a lot because we are encouraging Colton Dach to play that way and add that to the Blackhawks.
He had an impact, literally.
Sure did.
4-2 is your final. That does it for us from St. Louis. Quick turnaround. Hawks in St. Paul take on the Wild tomorrow. It's a 5 o'clock game. You can see it right here on Chicago Sports Network. For Tony Granato and our entire crew, Rick Ball saying thanks for watching Blackhawks hockey from St. Louis on Chicago Sports Network.